Often the word Ashtang Yoga is heard, and then the mind automatically says, okay, so it's yoga. It's a type of yoga. There's, Vikram yoga, there's Hatha yoga, there's this yoga, there's that yoga. There's also yoga. Yoga in the body posture sense. Yes and no. It has asanas in it, depending on what is required, what, how, and why, and what the application. There are asanas also. There's pranayama also. There's Hatha yoga part of it also. Is it only that? No. That amongst the 8 limbs, that is only 2 parts of it. In this now, what is the rest of it? Is it meditation? Not in the Western sense. Focus is involved. Turning within is involved. Turning off the senses is involved. Many things are involved. A lot of it in the initial stages, however, deals with mind. Because before we reach the meditative part of it, where we're zeroed out, we have to work with what is already here first. See what's there, then we empty inventory. You have to first take stock and take charge of what is there. In this now, so then self-awareness becomes a very key factor. Watching thoughts, feeling emotions, understanding what's there, how we process things, what are the algorithms we have set in our mind, all the things we have accumulated as a person through memory, through genetics, through karma, through so many things. What effect is there? What cyclical effects are there? What things do we hold on to? What are our blocks? What are our stubbornnesses? What are we obstinate in? What are we flexible in? What are we fluid in? What are we rigid in? Different things that make up us as people, that is delved into, that is worked with, that is slowly smoothened out. When I say smoothened out, what I mean is, as humans in modern society, we have a lot of likes and dislikes. We have a lot of pushing and pulling. We have a lot of control, a lot of will, a lot of mind involved, a lot of cerebralness. Not much is done with emotion. Not much is done with the subconscious mind, because the society in general is a very goal-orientated, checklist, milestone based structure. So all focus is set that way, in that direction. Seldomly from childhood are we thought of, okay, something has happened. What is going on in here now? How have we just processed that? We got angry. What did we get angry over? What was the thought behind it? What was the belief behind that thought? The emotions that came. Anger, it looked like, was it really anger? Could it have been sadness disguised as anger? Could it have been anxiety disguised as anger? Could it have been anger disguised as sadness? Things getting a little bit muddled. Why was there an emotional reaction? Is there something historically based? Is there something karmically based? Is there something accumulatively based? Like we heard something from somewhere and we've held on to it, and 2-3 days later, 1 week later, that came out. Or what exactly is happening? Because our mind moves at such a fast rate, there's so much happening. Seldomly are we able to slow it down and to actually sit there and see, okay, thought by thought, what exactly occupies our mind throughout the day? When we say, how did your day go? Or what did you do? I went here, I did this, I got the stand, complication, very, effective or very productive or unproductive day, or whatever it is, it's quantified in external aspects. Not whether you are enjoying doing that or not, whether it was a pleasant way of doing it or not, whether it could have been better, whether even doing nothing per se in the outside world. Again, they say the universe is born from nothingness. So if we stay bored also for a certain amount of days, the amount of creativity that gets activated is also wonderful, but we won't find that out because we're taught that we have to keep in motion all the time, keep moving all the time. So undoing these programmings, certain emotional programming, certain mental programming, certain karmic programmings, we have a tendency of certain cycles in life. Keep meeting the same people, keep doing the same things, keep having the same experiences. There's something we're missing there. Ashtang Yoga again brings our attention to it. What is it we're doing? What is it we're thinking? What is it we're reacting? We cannot do the same thing and expect a different outcome. That is insanity. Einstein or whoever quoted that. So, seeing what exactly we're doing, seeing what exactly our reaction is to whatever stimuli is happening here and here, and then working with that differently, hopefully to get a better outcome. That entire process, dealing with our emotions and thoughts in a better way. We may get angry. We need not break and throw things. We may not shout, scream, and tear the other person down. There are other ways of expressing it. There are other ways of getting our point across or explaining ourselves. Communication. How to communicate. How to express oneself. How to get this and this to connect and come here nicely. Nicely in the sense, kindly and honestly. Nice is not necessarily synonymous with kind and honest. Nice is a very superficial thing. So honesty with ourselves also. If there's something not healthy with our thought process, we have to be willing to accept. A whole manthan, no? First poison comes. So in this understanding where we may not be thinking positively in a sense, something that's in the giving good vibration. If it is creating a negative vibration of some sort, troubleshoot it. Very simply, it is not a matter of us being broken or something wrong with us or whatever our mind will tell us or tends to tell us also. Going through that also, those stages, the isolation, interaction. We have to know this person first before we can know another person, before we can understand what transpires. If we're not able to recognize thoughts and emotions here, we cannot recognize them there. If we cannot recognize them there or here, how does one enter or interact in a positive relationship? Cannot. So it'll be based on assumptions, it'll be based on reactions, it'll be based on combustion, it'll be based on so many things. Likes and dislikes and expectations and demands and so on and so forth, and dissatisfaction and disappointments and all these things, the larger bookends of the duality spectrum. So keeping it more, bringing ourselves more to the center line of neutrality, where we're not exactly here also, we're not exactly there also. It seems a little static, it seems a little boring, it seems a little less dynamic, but from here we can move if we require and come back. We can go this way also and come back. We can go this way also and come back, but we have to stay centered. So that is the practice. The more centered we are, then we start moving towards the meditative part. The here, the now, which is past, present, and future together. Not just here and now, ignoring past and ignoring future, because then you miss where you came from, mistakes, lessons, and where you're headed, trajectory. What I do here will affect long run, and so on and so forth. So it's always all three together. So understanding these concepts, they sound very vague and sound very confusing, just superficially talking like this. But when we work together, step by step, little by little, with personal issues, with what is happening in life right now, then things start making sense. But it's a slow process. It's not overnight. It will not happen in 2 weeks. But it is effective and it does happen. So I hope this makes a little bit more sense.